use my adjusting. Oh, beautiful rising, beautiful rising. Ooh, it's a beautiful day to be me, child. It is a beautiful day to be you, girl. We're going to get into the live, y'all. I'm going to give some folks time to be notified that we are live in these YouTube streets, y'all. We're going to get into the energy, y'all. Today is February 27th, child, and it's about closure. All right, today's energy, all right, is powerful, y'all. Mars Uranus squares at 11:20, all right, this morning, and it's bringing some unexpected shakeups, y'all. Right, it's going, y'all. Things are being shaken up. All right, when this TikTok live about to be real live, all right, because there's a soul merger that's taking place within the twin flame dynamic, right? But then there's a karmic clearing that's taking place with the karmics, child, right? So the readings, y'all, and the energy has been back and forth, right? The energy between the divine masculine and the divine feminine is beautiful, is harmony, is coming together, right? But then the damn karmic keeps popping up in the energy, but it's because the karmic is clearing, right? The karma is clearing. And because the karma is clearing, right? Conversations are being had. All right, so at today around 11:20, all right, this is I can't even get it out, y'all. This is accepting an 8-year cycle and closing it out, y'all. This aspect is wrapping up a 8-year cycle, y'all, that started in 2018. Stop playing. Right? 2018. The cycle started in 2018, and now, right, today is a breakthrough, right, of coming free of old patterns, right, that have held you back. Think about where you was in 2018, y'all. Because if I think about 2018, y'all, ooh, yeah, 2018 was a hell of a year. Now that I think about it, I had to stop a minute, y'all. Yeah, 2018 was horrible for me, y'all. So think about where you were in 2018, right? So that's what the astrology is clearing out, y'all. This is a 8-year cycle, y'all, that's closing out today. So there's going to be some things that will be shaken up, right? It's going to bring about unexpected endings, right? But this is about closure, right? So when I talked about this yesterday on the live, y'all, remember I said this retrograde isn't about making any decisions, right? This retrograde was about closure, right? Clearing the chaos, right? See, this is closure on the chaos that has already been cleared. And it was cleared, y'all, in 2025, right? See, that was the year of the snake. So all of that karma, y'all, that had been built up, right? All of that energy, low vibrational energy. That's all karma is, y'all. Karma is low vibrational energy. Light is high vibrational energy, right? So all of the time and years that we was in low vibrational energy, it's okay, right? We got to clear that out. But you have to learn the lesson, right? See, the reason that you were in that energy or in that cycle at that time was simply because there were certain lessons that you had yet to learn. You had to be in those cycles so that you could learn the lesson. When you learn the lesson, it ends, right? But the clearing, y'all, it's like the ashes, child. Somebody, you got to clean out your fireplace. Somebody, you got your fireplace on. Now I'm seeing a fireplace with a bunch of ashes built up in it, and you've been burning it away, y'all. That's what the year of the snake did, right? The year of the snake burnt away all of the debris, right? The toxic energy, right? When you did what? Let the light in, girl, right? When you let the light in, that was the burning away of the toxic energy, because that is how you begin to learn your lessons. But it's like that fireplace burning. At some point, you got a buildup of ashes, right? So now you got to clear that out. Somebody, you can use your vacuum, because somebody say, well, damn, how I do? All right, if you at your house, yeah, I clean out my fireplace with my vacuum. Shoot, put the little wand in there and get that shit out. Dump it out your vacuum and keep it moving. Well, that's where we are, y'all. Hey, don't play. We the vacuum, right? But God is the vacuum. We have already done the clearing, right? The energy that you're in right now is the vacuum, right? So this retrograde, y'all, from now until about the 20th of March, right? Going into the spring equinox, it's the vacuum, right? So it is the vacuum that's now getting all of these damn ashes and shit, right? That the karma burnt up. Welcome to the live, y'all. Y'all know God to give me a download and I'll start channeling and when you pull a nail card, right? I'm telling you, y'all, and it's beautiful energy. All right, so today is about breakthroughs, y'all. The day is a journey, okay? So this whole day is going to be a journey, y'all. So the morning is going to start with big, generous feelings, right? But the real action, y'all, is going to take a place around midday. All right, so expect the unexpected around 11:20. All right, around 11:20. We're going to be on the live. Yeah. Oh, we're going to be on the live about 11:20 on TikTok, y'all. It's 7:27 with 17 people watching. 7 is the number of spirituality. 1 is new beginnings. 2 is decision making, y'all. 7:27, right? You now get to make the decision to close whatever cycle you want to close, right? Yeah, we closing cycles on TikTok this morning. That's what we're going to talk about. See, you are now getting the opportunity to close whatever cycle you want, y'all. That's what the energy is with this retrograde. All right. So the energy will soften, y'all. So about the time we get off the live on TikTok, y'all, that's when the energy is going to soften. So about 12:59, right? The moon is going to trine Venus. That's going to bring in this gorgeous wave of like harmony, affection, right? Really heartfelt connections, right? So this is going to be followed by a moon that's going to trine Mercury retrograde at 2:12 p.m., y'all. That's going to open a door to heal old misunderstandings. For my twin flame collective, come on, queens. I'm getting y'all there. I'm getting y'all there, y'all. All right. For my twin flame collective, all right. Surge the energy this morning. All right. If you don't know what that means, y'all got to take the class, right? I'm going to do a soul merger class. This one won't be as expensive. This one will be if you already bought the book or you already took the first class. I got to teach y'all how to merge the energy. You got to surge it, y'all. And if you don't know how to take advantage of the energy and where you are, you will miss opportunities. There are certain times within the twin flame dynamic that the energy surges and it's coming from the masculine, right? That is at the beginning of the union, y'all, when you getting all this damn energy from them, but they staying away, right? And you feeling all this energy build up, right? And you over here talking about what the fuck going on because your whole life been unstopped and you got to lay in the bed for 2 days because they surged the energy. But the roles have reversed, queen. Now you got to surge the energy. That energy surge is going to bring on that communication y'all want, right? That surge is going to bring in that 3D union because now they have cleared the karma like you have. Now they can feel you more clearly than they ever have before. I put y'all on game, y'all. You just got to listen from somebody who's in union. Not that motherfucker talking about they hate their twin flame, right? Like, no, stop listening to people that talking about, I hate my twin flame. No, take it from a bitch that got a king that just texted me this morning and said, beautiful rising, love, right? You got to understand how to use the energy to keep your shit together. Surge the energy, y'all. All right, double tap the screen. All right, so about 2:12, y'all. There's going to be a door that is opening to heal the old misunderstandings. And the entire journey, y'all, it's a misunderstanding. It is. It's them misunderstanding you. It's you misunderstanding them. It's people interference, and it's bringing all of y'all closer to God. All right, let's get into the energy. The overall vibe is a liberating disruption. Hello. The overall energy, y'all, is a liberating disruption. All right. This is going to make you feel so much freer, right? I don't care what happened, right? But whatever happened, you're going to feel so much freer. All right. Because this is the energy, y'all. This retrograde is clearing karma and the chaos, all right, that was burnt away in 2025. Let's get into the energy, y'all. Welcome. All right, welcome to the live, y'all. I am the Lady Empath 1111. All right, let's see. All right, we got, what did I say? Woo! Don't fucking play Kara. We riding, motherfuckers. Soul merger. I done told y'all I don't read cards. Cards read me. God told me this shit in the bathtub this morning. Y'all better take y'all spiritual baths. Hello. So the energy today, y'all, is God literally saying, right? And it's not overtly, y'all, because when I got in the tub this morning, my energy was at about a 5. Y'all, yeah, hey, TMI, but I'm gonna tell y'all, right? I was in the tub this morning, y'all, and you know how you get in the tub, but you gotta use the bathroom. So I said, shit, now I gotta get off. It's cold, y'all, so I gotta drive. I gotta go use the bathroom. Hey, TMI, I had to poop. I get back in the tub, right? Washing again. Now at that point, my energy at about a 7, but I still wasn't feeling my like lively self, right? So I'm like, dang, what is going on? Y'all, stomach started hurting again. Had to dry off, get out the tub again. 11:11 on the timer, don't fucking play, right? So then I done pooped again, y'all. I'm like, God damn, I'm just trying to enjoy my bath this morning. Like, what is going on? So then I get back in the tub. So now my energy is settling. I'm like, okay, now my stomach feels better, right? So then I heard God say, right, the messages today are clearing messages. So they won't be as overt, right? See, it's past experiences, y'all, that are taking place, right? You're remembering, right? Why you came, y'all. You're remembering. So even with this past experience energy, y'all, what does it say? Past life healing. You and your divine counterpart have been together many past lives, y'all. All you doing is remembering. He is remembering, or she, right? And then y'all come together if that's what you desire, right? But the soul merger has already taken place, y'all, several times. It took place in the past life, right? It took place in your 3D union, y'all. If you've ever been intimate with your person or not, you've experienced soul merger if you know that's your person, because that's the telepathy of the intimacy of the union. And if you don't know what that feel like, take the course, y'all, because soul merger takes place in many different ways, right? And it's all kundalini energy between you and your person. But you sometimes don't understand when they initiating it and when you supposed to initiate it. They be initiating in the beginning. Well, you got to initiate it now. Why? Because now they know where that shit coming from. Because they ain't in control, y'all. See, all of the journey in the 3D for the masculine is about control. How do they surge your energy in the beginning? They surge their energy so much on you, you don't want to date nobody else. Stop playing. Y'all not be putting you on game. You don't want to date nobody else. You go out and everybody give you the ick. You be like, that's not my king. That's not my queen. Right? And you like, dang, I ain't interested in nobody no more. Why? Because they surge your fucking energy. And all you can do is think about them. That's the runner chaser dynamic, y'all. And it's not because you chasing. Why? Because I talk to queens and we don't ever chase. Stop playing. We ain't chased the bitch since 93. We ain't chased the motherfucker since 88. Right? We ain't chased motherfuckers since 2007, right? Whatever day you was in college was the last time you started chasing motherfuckers. Stop playing, right? So when you realize that when they say that runner chaser dynamic, for peasants or for princesses, I'll call them, right? Young queens, all right? For young queens, they do chase, y'all. They do. They be blowing their damn phones up, spamming them with text messages, doing all kind of shit, y'all. But we queens, y'all, my collective are like mid 30s and shit, right? Late 20s going into their 50s and shit, y'all. My queens are queens. We are established women who ain't chased a man since high school, right? So we never understand the whole runner chaser dynamic because we be over here talking about, I ain't chasing that motherfucker. But let me tell you what happens. They flood your energy. They flood your energy. So you remember y'all journey, y'all. That's all it is. See, this is a voyager's journey. Past life healing, right? So when they surge the energy, you remember them, which is their higher self, right? Their 5D self. That's who you remember. So now when this motherfucker showing up in the 3D and acting a fool, you still are what? Remembering their higher self because they have poured their energy onto you during the soul merger. So now, y'all, you got to understand you have seen beyond the illusion. Queens, I teach you to see beyond the illusion, right? What is the illusion? Separation. What is the illusion? That you don't have control over the journey, right? Right? You don't have control. You do have control. You just forgot how to use it. And you have to use it though, y'all, when the energy is conducive, right? That's why you got to be the high priestess. That's why you have to read astrology. And that's how you have to learn how to do this stuff, y'all. See, a real empath is knowledge and feeling. 737. Oh, I teach y'all. Hey, a real empath ain't that you going over here to read everybody else's energy and help them, feel sorry for them, pour into them. A real empath is a navigator of this new earth reality because we feel the energy, we understand people, and we knowledgeable as the fucks. So now you understand today is soul merger. What is that? If you are not in this dynamic, then you are pouring that energy into you. You are allowing yourself to feel pleasure at a higher level. We're going to keep this high and y'all going to understand what I'm saying, right? Without giving it all out, right? Allow yourself to just be in your own energy today without spilling it all out. I'm going to put it that way, right? When you do this, number one, you're allowing everything in your life to come together. Your finances will be unlocked, right? Every stuck energy is going to be unlocked, including your union, y'all, because you are merging with yourself, but you are also, if you on the journey, which most of my followers are, right, then you are also calling them in. Soul merger. I don't make it up, y'all. Hey, I told you the damn cards came out. This is your journey. And now today, y'all, it's about moving forward, right? This is a Voyager's journey. You got to move forward. What did I fucking say, y'all? The electric don't play today. Girl. And it's coming through creative expression, right? It's coming through you surging the Kundalini energy. Queens, y'all know what I'm talking about. Surge the energy and then go right. Go journal. Go do a reading. If you're a reader like me, surge the energy and then go right and do a reading, right? For your collective, right? Surge the energy, right? Ooh, I hope y'all know what I mean when I say surge the energy, y'all, because it's on you too. Surge the energy, right? But then go create, right? Surge the energy and then go journal. I'm put you on game. It's electric, y'all. And it's coming through your creative expression. Y'all, I don't make it up, y'all. This thing say integration of multi-dimensional healing. See, that's what's taking place, y'all, right? That's what's taking place, right? See, now you integrating, y'all. Ooh, why? Because this one say transformation. See, this is the integration of your transformation, number one, of yourself, right? Of integrating your ability to do what? Control yourself, y'all. You can control yourself. You can give yourself great energy and not have to do that nothing with them or nobody else, right? Surge the energy. Don't let it spill out. Integrate it, right? They're going to feel every ounce of that electric energy. And you gonna be creating your ass off. Somebody, you about to write the best song of your life today, right? Somebody, you about to draw the best painting of your life today, right? Somebody, you about to record your message that's gonna go viral today, right? Whatever it is you doing is gonna happen today because you've learned how to surge the energy, y'all. Watch. Hey, don't play. It's about the transformation, y'all. In the integration, all right? It's about the transformation and the integration along this journey. And you're learning now how to integrate every lesson that you learn, y'all. See, I'm telling you, as we enter this retrograde, y'all, it's clearing the chaos and the karma, but it ain't got nothing to do with us. You integrating. You've already established the transformation within you. See, you've already won the battle of head versus heart because that's all it is. How do you win, y'all? The battle of the head versus the heart? You trust and you listen. Girl, that thing say ask, listen, and allow, right? You trust. Right? You trust. And when you begin to trust, guess what? That allows the transformation of faith, y'all. This says battle of head versus heart. How do I say that? Trust. Trust. right? It's trusting and believing that whatever you have been manifesting, whatever you've been praying for, is going to take place in your life. That is how you win the transformation, y'all. It's trusting, and it's trusting your heart. See, stop playing, y'all. See, when you was battling this, what that thing say, y'all? Battle of head versus heart. What won, y'all? Look at that picture. Your heart. I don't make it up. I don't make it up. Somebody, you won the battle, 41-14. 41 people, 14 likes. That's a mirrored number. But that's way too low on the likes. If I got 41 people watching, give the video a thumbs up, please, y'all. It's a beautiful Friday. Somebody, you won. Literally, battle of head versus heart. What won? The heart. Stop playing. Stop playing. The heart won, y'all. And this is the center of the transformation. All right, let's get 3 more, and then we're gonna go. I think we're gonna go straight to the tarot. All right, what else? What else? Ooh, okay. All right, girl, stop playing. Girl, stop playing. Girl, it was you, girl. That thing say feminine twin activating higher self. See, when the feminine twin activates her higher self, now she's in control. It's called alchemy, y'all. It's called alchemy. See, when you go through your final activation, they are no longer in control of the energetic union. You are. See, when the energy is surging coming from them, they are in control, y'all. That's how they can send you one text message and ignore you for the rest of the day, because they in control of the energy. They feel you when they want to feel you. They pull your energy in towards them. Then they feel all great and wonderful because they can feel your energy. You don't know what the fuck going on, right? Your stomach hurting. You over here obsessing. You over here talking about why is I'm feeling like this, right? Because they are surging the energy. They have been in control until the point you detach and begin to integrate all of the energy that they were taking, right? And if this isn't your person, y'all take it as the world. Because let me tell you, the journey is still the journey within. So if you listen to me and you feeling it, but you're not, you feel like you're not a twin flame, it's still you. You took your energy back, y'all, from everything around you. You integrated all of your energy back from the karmics, y'all, from your family, from all of these people who were taking it, right? So when you do this, you integrate it back into you, which is now just simply trusting. See, when you don't allow yourself to get into other relationships, and we're going to talk about this on TikTok, y'all. Kyra, if I forget, I really want to remember to talk about this. I likely won't forget, but just in case, right? I want to talk about how the collective literally allows other people, because this is what's been coming up in the karmic readings, right? So the readings for the karmics that have been coming up has a lot to do with how the divine chosen have let karmics emotionally manipulate them through word magic that cause so much confusion and self-doubt that when you meet your true counterpart, you second guess, right? Am I ready? Am I pretty enough? Am I overweight? It's like people have self-sabotaged their own connections because you allow the belittlement, right? I'm just seeing somebody degrading and yelling and belittling somebody to the point where the person is now not even understanding their own power. So then when you get in union, you end up self-sabotaging because you allow the karmics to break down your confidence. That's what's taking place in a lot of the masculine collective, y'all. See, a lot of the masculine collective, they have allowed the karmics in their past to humiliate them, emasculate them, right? Strip away their king, their crown, y'all. They allow the karmics to strip away their crown. And then when you come as the divine feminine, you are reminding them of their kingdom. You are reminding them of their kingdom, right? So now you feminine twin, you activate your higher self. What is that? You practice a healthy level of detachment because you understand that they got to integrate the crown themselves. They ain't no king when you meet them, y'all. They still have to learn lessons. It's still things that they have to go through. You activate your higher self when you detach, step away, and let them do the work. Why? Because that's when that shit break through. Don't play today. Do not play. That is when they break through the wall. What is that? The 3D matrix. And then they do what, y'all? Processing karmic debris. See, the masculine collective, y'all, this entire week, and likely up until March the 20th, they are processing karmic debris. This is allowing the breakthrough in the collective energy for masculines. This can be your son. This can be your daddy. It's the masculine collective energy, y'all. And the masculine collective energy, they are 5. What is that? Changing. 5 is the number of change, right? So when you activate your higher self is when they get the breakthrough. Let's talk about it, y'all. I talked about this yesterday, and I'm likely to talk about this on TikTok, and I'm going to talk about this, y'all, on the Soul Merger Workshop. All right? So when you meet your masculine, y'all meeting in their energy. Stop playing. Y'all, you ain't meeting in your energy. You meeting them in their energy. What is that? On their turf. Why? Because they looking at you, they scoped you out. You fine, child. They attracted to you. They little stuff done got the jumping in their pants. Y'all stop playing. And then they pursue you, right? If you have been with your twin in the 3D real life, like most of mine have, because my girl's in union and we don't do that shit. I ain't seen my person ever, but I'm in a whole romantic. We just don't do that on here. We just don't, right? These are kings, y'all, right? So I say that to say, if you've been intimate, y'all, it's 747. 7 is spirituality. 4 is foundation. If you've ever been intimate with your twin flame, you set the foundation right then, but you met them in their energy. Why? Because that's sacral and solar energy. It wasn't no God in that. Stop playing. Y'all were tearing them sheets up. It wasn't no God in that. Stop playing. You met that joker and that damn fire rose up in you and that fire rose up in him and it was straight Kundalini energy and y'all took that shit straight to the sheets. Stop playing. Y'all took it straight to the streets, right? If you are a split twin flame. Now, there are monadic twin flames and they experience it different. I'm not talking about a monadic twin flame. I'm talking about a split soul twin flame. Because if you've experienced, girls, stop playing. Your ass, y'all was in the street, y'all was in the sheets real quick, right? Real quick. So now the energy, y'all, has surged, but it was in their turf, right? So that was in their masculine energy. So they keep you on their turf, y'all, when they surge the energy and you keep sleeping with them. Stop playing, y'all. I be putting y'all on game. If you listen, you will allow me, right, to do this. You have to experience a Merkaba activation on the twin flame journey. What is that? Ground, shield, and protect. See, as the divine feminine, you got to ground your energy and you got to shield it and you got to protect it. What is that? When they surge the energy, don't give into it, right? You can experience the energy and cut that shit off, right? They surge the energy from the lower chakra. They surge the energy from the lower chakra. Now you all tingly and shit. You can't get through the day. Girl, you over here like, what the hell is going on with me? I'm having heat flashes, but I ain't in menopause. Like, what is going on? Right? So now you're realizing, right, that all of this stuff is taking place and you don't even know how to what? Ground, shield, and protect your energy. That's why you have to understand how to detach. Right? That's how you have to understand a healthy level of detachment means, sir, until you show me consistently in the 3D what we got going on, then I am shielding and protecting my energy. You have to, y'all, because if not, right, you will be giving into the energy that you're feeling because they surge the energy. When you practice a healthy level of detachment, you call your energy back. If they ain't doing right, you stop sleeping with them, right? Whatever is going on, you detach from that lower vibrational energy. And when you do that, you stabilize the energy. You begin to do what? Activate your higher self. When you activate your higher self, what takes place? Now you back up in the crown, the third eye, and the throat, right? You have become the queen of swords. You start having direct communication regardless of what they may feel or think. You ain't over here talking about, well, we can't have this difficult conversation because he might leave me and we might not be together. Girl, you don't give a fuck about that. You understand that y'all one soul, he ain't going nowhere, and you can be honest with this motherfucker about what you want. The only time you cannot have an honest conversation with your person is because you over here talking about, but what if we ain't together? But what if I say something that push him away? But what? This motherfucker is your soul. Where he going? I used to tell my king that all the time. I used to be like, girl, we Leos, like straight across the board, right? So I used to be like, motherfucker, where you going? Right? So I would say stuff to trigger the fuck out of him. And then I would be like, and you know who got your heart. So where you going? He used to be pissed off. Cause where you going? And he knew that shit to be true. And he would just laugh with them beautiful ass dimples, right? Cause where you going? But then I would tell him, cause where I'm going. I don't want no damn body else, y'all. If you've ever experienced your real twin flame in the natural and you've experienced the kundalini and y'all done merged, you ain't trying to be with nobody else, y'all. Them women that be talking about, I don't like my twin, I can't be with my twin, they never experienced soul merger. They never got to that point. See, you got to get to the point of soul merger for you to really anchor that shit in the 3D, right? But most people, they so triggered along the journey that they never anchor in the soul merger. So now y'all just trigger the fuck out of each other and he just be gone and you just be fine with him being gone because you ain't never merged. You experience the activation without the merger at times, y'all. So there are divine feminine twins who over here like, well, I don't want to be with my person. It's just hard and it's just this. Well, it probably is because they triggered your ass so far out, right? Because you weren't learning the lesson. You weren't integrating. Y'all triggered each other so much. No, you, because the divine feminine is the lead. You are the lead, the feminine twin. It's just that they triggered your ass so much instead of you allowing the soul merger. What is that? Trusting and giving into the journey. You got to trust your person in order for soul merger to take place, right? You got to trust it because see, soul merger, y'all, is telepathic, right? Soul merger is telepathic. 52 people watching, 20 thumbs up. If you're enjoying the content, please give it a thumbs up. All right. Meaning that you got to trust, number one, that the feelings you're feeling is coming from your divine masculine. You got to be able to trust, y'all, that the energy that's surging is spiritual energy coming from your person, because then you open up energetically to what they are sending you. This is all energy first, y'all. You can be having you can have sex with your person in the natural, right? But not experience soul merger if you're not letting them in at the soul level. That's just carnal 3D banging that shit out, right? But you, in order for soul merger to take place, you have to be open up at the soul level. Now you experience the telepathy. Now you experience spontaneous orgasms. We'll talk about it, y'all. I can't say too much on YouTube, y'all. So that's why God told me to go ahead and create the workshop, right? For just specifically soul merger, because there are things that will take place in your body on this journey that you ain't doing. Stop playing, y'all. You ain't doing it, right? So you have to understand the energy of what's taking place, y'all, of between you and your person, if it's your person. But a lot of y'all let warlock demon motherfuckers into y'all energy, and you don't understand what's your energy, a nasty energy, a low vibrational energy, and your person. And that comes through what? Trust. And most people's heart are closed off to trust. And that's why trust is at the center. All right. Somebody, there's a breakthrough. See, look at your beautiful face. Look at your beautiful face, right? Somebody, you're experiencing a breakthrough. And in this breakthrough, it's allowing your masculine energy to break through whatever has been holding them back. All right. Let's get one more before we go to the tarot. All right. What else? All right, we got, clearing karma. I don't make it up, y'all. I told y'all, my gift is my motherfucking gift. What did I say? Kundalini activation. We clearing karma, y'all. See, this retrograde, y'all, is clearing the chaos, right? Clearing the chaos, but it's the calm for the collective, right? We are in the calm, y'all, because we cleared it, y'all, with the year of the snake. So we have already burnt away this energy. Now the karmics, y'all, are coming up, and most of the masculine collective are now learning their lessons concerning the karmic energies that surround them that the divine feminine learned last year. See, we integrated our lessons last year, y'all. They're integrating theirs now because we've entered into this the fire horse energy, right? right? We've entered the fire horse energy. So now they shit is being burnt off rapidly though, right? So as the divine feminine, maybe it took you 2 years to learn the lesson. Well, let me tell you something, y'all. The lesson they are learning is taking place like now. From January, the beginning of this not really new year, right? Until this fire horse energy with the lunar eclipse, that shit was being burnt away. Now, oh y'all, they wanting somebody to get the fire extinguisher out. Somebody, a person could be a firefighter, so it could be in a law enforcement or a police officer, right? But it's like, oh damn, can you please put the fire out, right? Because they had to quickly learn the lesson if they are going to go with you, divine feminine, into this energy, because it's about action. Y'all don't fucking play. God say, look at the bottom of the deck. King of Pentacles. King of Pentacles, right? So let me tell you, if your person is going to go with you, they had to quickly learn the lesson, integrate the lesson. What's the lesson, y'all? Change. Why? Because it's 757. 7 is the number of spirituality. 5 is the number of change. You have to quickly learn the change. Listen to God, y'all, so that you, the two, can come together. Why? Wow. Ace of Pentacles. I didn't know that shit was back there. King of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. Somebody, you got a king coming through with a damn commitment, y'all. Hierophant is behind that. All masculine energy, y'all. Yeah. The Hierophant, y'all. Someone could have been overwhelmed with work or responsibilities, because I do have the Two of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck as well. But somebody, King of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, the Hierophant. Someone has grown up. I mean, I'm seeing 3 mature guys as well. Maybe someone has gone to speak to somebody who gave them mature counsel, right? But somebody is now beginning to look at things in a more traditional way. In a more traditional way. And let me tell you something, y'all. Kings, they are traditional, right? They are traditional, y'all. And when you realize that they are traditional, right, kings, then if you and your union is something that is non-traditional, what is that? Different cultures, different backgrounds, different races, different ages, right? Most kings, especially this king, girl, this is a King of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, Hierophant. This is somebody who is very grounded, very traditional, full of earth grounded energy, y'all. So whoever this is, if y'all are in any way non-traditional, let's say he religious and you spiritual, this is somebody who had to be able to allow and trust their heart and not this logic, y'all. They had to learn how to trust their heart. What is this energy? Over the candle. Damn, y'all. Ooh, justice, girl. Justice flew over the candle, y'all. Yeah, somebody, this is your justice. 1111, y'all. This is your justice, right? This is you understanding balance. And what did I tell y'all? Karmic clearing. What we got right here, y'all? Clearing karma, right? Clearing karma, right? Justice. It's karmic justice, y'all. And it's retribution that is setting the collective in order. Truth and order, right? This retrograde, y'all, is about clearing karma, right? Or seeing the people exposure so that truth and order can prevail, right? Truth and order always prevail. Believe that, y'all. Truth and order always prevail. So every time you thought your person wasn't going to come through, child, every time you thought, they just wasn't going to get it, they wasn't going to understand that the karmics is crazy, they wasn't going to, no, truth always prevails, y'all. Stop playing. The only way to refute, right? I'm hearing, what's the word, y'all? I'm hearing slander. Thank you. I'm hearing slander. See, people have slandered y'all name, y'all. People have done all of that, right? But the only way you refute that is truth. Truth, y'all. That's the only thing. And you'll understand that. And God is the deliverer of truth, right? The whole deliverer of truth. Yeah. Page of Pentacles. Somebody's creating something. Yeah. All right. I feel like your divine masculine, whoever this is, they didn't feel like they had enough, though. I got Page of Pentacles, 4 of Cups. See, somebody feel like they were missing opportunities in your life, or your relationship could have definitely been stagnant because somebody was trying to lay a foundation. They didn't have a lot. See, I got a King of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, but with the Page of Pentacles, 4 of Cups, somebody was maybe just started a new job or just begin to develop a plan for their life and their money. See, this is somebody who was groomed for success, or they wanted to be sure this relationship was successful. This for you, Divine Feminine, was about your spiritual awakening and listening to God. See, whoever this is somebody who was very traditional and they was always a king. This person here was always a king, y'all. This ain't somebody that went and had babies and moved in with the Karmic and started another family. That ain't no king, y'all. That's a retard, right? This is somebody who had a little bit when y'all met and was in regret that they couldn't give you everything you deserve, not because you asked for it, but because you deserve it. Why? Because you're a queen, y'all. So this King of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles, this for you was about you listening to God and focusing on your spiritual awakening. Page of Swords to the Death card, y'all. See, you as a Divine Feminine, you got to understand your spiritual awakening speeds up your person's 3D finances. Stop playing. The Divine Masculine don't fucking play. Emperor is behind that, y'all. See, this is a man who is a real emperor. When you met this person, y'all, whoever this is, they are an emperor. But you needed, or your spirit guides wanted you to focus on your own spiritual awakening so that you could be the powerful manifester that you are. See, when you become the powerful manifester that you are, you take day one pentacle, y'all, and you turn it into the King of Pentacles with the Ace of Pentacles, because you become their spirit guide, y'all. I tell my king what contracts to sign, what offers to bid on, how much we should charge people and all of that. He got his own damn company. But who is his counsel, y'all? Who is his CFO, bitches? What is we talking about? If your man own a company, you better be his CFO. Why? Because the abundance is in you, queen. Stop playing, right? So when you understand that, you become that, right? He begins to manifest wealth into his life. What does that look like? If your man over here talking about, I got two jobs to decide from, right? I got one job offer over here and I got another job offer over there. What do you think? Instead of you talking about, well, which one closer so we can be together? No, motherfucker. Which one is going to bring him the King of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles? Because that's going to determine if y'all be together, not where his job at. Stop playing. Woo, that's a message for somebody, right? Y'all cannot be trying to guide them based on what you want for yourself, because that shit never works, y'all. If you are giving them spiritual guidance because you feel like that's what's best for y'all relationship, then that shit never works out anyway. Has it? No, it hasn't. It's not until you give them guidance based on what God told you, whether it benefits you or not, you give them that guidance. That's the manifestation. Because what the Divine Feminine has to realize, y'all, is that you are their spiritual guide. For most Divine Masculine, they ain't got nobody around them that truly believes in them, that truly understands them, that truly wants to be with them for their highest and greatest good. You become that, y'all, for your person, right? You become that for your person. You become their eyes. They become your hands. I posted on my threads yesterday, y'all. Make sure y'all follow me on threads. As I get like downloads, just like word downloads and stuff, I post them on threads, right? And that's the download I got the other day. You are their eyes. What is that? Their spiritual eyes, right? They are your hands. What is that? Your connection to this 3D world, y'all. If your king show up in this world as a king, oh, every door that you need to be broken through is going to break through too, y'all. Because now you are walking in your healing work. They have now integrated as your protector, and now everything that you desire comes together, y'all. Stop playing. 10 of Cups and the Emperor at the bottom of the deck, y'all. Somebody, your union is coming together. What's taking place, y'all, is the clearing. 6 of Swords. What did I tell y'all? Today is the clearing, y'all. That's all it is. I got to get out of here and take my baby to school this morning. We're going to pick this energy back up on TikTok, y'all, because this is not finished, y'all. 6 of Swords. All right. We're going to pick it up. I'm going to be on TikTok live at 9, y'all. All right. Relief, stability, journey, traveling, healing, right? 6 of Swords is taking place for the masculine collective, y'all. 10 of Cups and the Emperor, right? They understand, y'all. These cards are beautiful, right? The only thing out here that this Divine Masculine wanted is more for you. financial stability. They were somebody who was in the Page of Pentacles energy, laying a foundation, maybe taking care of kids, right? Developing a plan, right? Understanding what it is that they wanted, y'all. They did not want to miss the opportunity with you, but they just weren't ready, y'all. And it's fine, because somebody ready now. Stop playing. 9 of Cups. Somebody ready now, right? So whoever this was, y'all, they just, I heard somebody run track. You know how you start before the gunfires, right? You start before the gunfires. That's what this is, right? Right? That's what this is. It's like this person took off right before the gun fired, but they weren't finna miss the opportunity. Because now I'm hearing my song, Snooze. Somebody wasn't finna miss this opportunity with y'all, right? And because of that, they knew that they didn't have a lot, Page of Pentacles, but they weren't finna miss it, y'all. Now, somebody in their 9 of Cups, y'all, this joker clean, girl. He done put on that suit. Somebody, your person finna invite you to a romantic dinner, and they've never been romantic. Somebody gonna say, babe, let's go somewhere nice. Right? That's what I'm hearing. Like your person, they may not be eloquent in words, but they gonna say something like, I just want to go somewhere nice. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah. All right, what we got? Yeah, somebody knows. They was in the 9 of Wands, y'all. Somebody been working hard as hell. They was working hard, y'all. This person, and they suffered a lot of setbacks, but they always looked at you as someone who was honest with them. Queen of Swords. Like this person always looked at you as someone who was candid, truthful, right? No nonsense. And it made them sit back and realize that they were stopping themselves, y'all. 8 of Swords. Or they were allowing others to keep them in some type of trap, defeated, right? Energy. I told you, y'all, that's the karmic exes. The karmic exes, y'all, stop playing. King of Cups in reverse. See, somebody's karmic ex had them looking like this, y'all. Not open to love, moody as fuck, right? Not emotionally unavailable, right? The King of Cups in reverse is emotionally unavailable. 8 of Swords is a mental entrapment, y'all. But this is someone's ex because of how this person was talked to in their past. They were really in their head and they weren't open to you, right? They weren't open to your energy and emotional. Like this would be an avoidant. All right, with the King of Cups in reverse, this would be an avoidant. But the King of Wands is at the bottom of the deck. What is that? This is that motherfucker that called you in, y'all, with that wand energy. That is the masculine energy. And we love a good wand, right? But we got to take that shit back up. You got to take it back up to the crown, y'all. Why? Because it's 808. Manifestation. 8 is the number of manifestation. 0 is God, the void. You as a divine feminine, you have to take it back up to the crown, the third, and the throat chakra. Communicate, y'all. Queen of Swords is that throat chakra energy where you communicate that, wait a minute, this shit's supposed to be about my awakening. Why is you over here coming through when you want to get some? Right? King of Wands, right? King of Wands gonna come through and get you wanded real good. But the King of Wands isn't going to be consistent, especially if their heart is not open in the King of Cups in reverse energy. So somebody, you was in your 3 of Swords because you wanted more balance, y'all. See, your heart was hurting a little bit, girl, because you like this shit's imbalanced. I love my king and he be wanding. But what we doing here, right? So you over here talking about this isn't balanced because it's not consistent, y'all. Yeah, but you had to make the decision, y'all, because Judgment was in the reverse with the star. Why? Because you know you the star. Stop playing. You know you hold this shit in your hand, queen. You know this party is about you, not about them. And when you become the star, you realize that any imbalance is because you're not making the decision. You wasn't calling judgment on this. What is that? What we doing here? That's judgment. Judgment comes from the divine or the divine feminine. That's only 2 places judgment comes from. Either God gonna step in, right? Or you need to say something when you see that this shit is imbalanced, y'all. All right, imbalanced. But behind that is the 10 of Pentacles. I'm done. This shit's beautiful. 10 of Pentacles, y'all. 10 of Pentacles. Somebody has made the decision, y'all. Damn. 2 of Wands, 6 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, y'all. 7 of Pentacles, and the damn King of Swords with the Magician. Somebody is manifesting your ass, y'all. And I'm talking about they done built their finances up. I'm talking about it. They made the decision to come in because they are healed. They want to give to you equally. They want to put in the damn investment. King of Swords and the Magician. And y'all finna have an honest ass conversation for the first time is what I heard. For the first time, y'all. Somebody, they manifesting you in. Surge the energy today, y'all. I told you, I heard that shit clear as day in my bathtub. And I was like, God, what you talking about? And I say, But we been, and I said, ooh, we ain't surged in a minute, right? Because me and my king, we masters at surging. I said, hey, we together, y'all. We in union. We masters at surging, y'all. But we ain't done that shit in a minute. And I was like, surge the energy? And I said, ooh, surge the energy today, y'all. Uh-oh, right? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, that's what I'm hearing, y'all. Now I'm over here dancing in my chair. Y'all, we finna ride on TikTok, y'all. Surge, ladies. If you don't know how to surge the energy, y'all need to schedule. All right, or I'll do the workshop. All right, I do want to do a workshop called How to Surge the Energy in Your Union, right? When it's time to surge the energy, when you should not surge the energy. And I'm going to talk about soul merger and the different experiences, y'all, because it takes place in various ways. All right, it takes place in various ways. All right, I gotta look at my calendar. Y'all know I be busy, right? So I got to look at my calendar and see what's the best time to do the class. I think I have one free weekend in March, and I'm traveling. I think I do have one free weekend in March, so I may do that session on that Saturday. I think that's the third weekend in March that I have open. All right, y'all, let me get out of here. I'm going to see y'all on TikTok at 9. Let me go take my baby to school. Love and light, y'all. The Lady Empath, 1111. Surge the energy, girl.